How's it going, guys? I hope everybody is having a great day so far. Sorry that I haven't uploaded in a bit. So, today we are looking at the Reaper Wolf Druid build. Now, this is I want to say more budget version of the build. So what we got here, most expensive thing is going to be a Zod, because you're going to want an ethereal Reaper's Toll with some good damage rolls. We have a G-Face with a enhanced damage, crystal in the helmet. This is part of what makes it a bit more budget, and is we're using a Fortitude instead of a COH or an Enigma. Enigma technically is the best in slot here. With that being said, I'm not a big fan of it for shifting builds because you can't teleport with it. We got a Maras for the resistances. We have some Gores for the open wounds and crushing blow. Similar with the G-Face as well. We have the laying of hands for the extra damage to demons. Now you could run Drax. I found I really don't need it with this build. We have a Ravenfrost to prevent us from getting frozen. The attack rating is nice too. And then we have a Dual Leech ring with some reses on it, and a string of ears. All our GCs are shifters. And let me just actually pop the cube in the stash. And that in the stash. Now your best in slot would be shifter lifers. I just got what I could, because this is a hardcore ladder character and it was near the end of ladder. Various res charms. We have an Annie and a torch. So just to revisit that chest piece, if you ended up going Enigma, you'd have a big strength boost that you wouldn't have to put as many points in to reach your gear cap, so you could have a bit more life. Again, I found with the build, I don't even need to use my CTA for life. And I had an Enigma previously when I made the switch, and I haven't re-rolled my stats yet, so I'm a bit short on the strength for the Spirit. Now our stats are straight up enough to wear the Spirit, nothing into Dex, and everything else into Vitality. Now, with better res charms, we'd probably have our reses capped. Another boots option would be the Sandstorm Trek for the poison res. Now, with all that being said, getting into the main part of the build, we have Lycanthropy maxed, Werewolf maxed, and Fury maxed. That is pretty much all you'll need. Now you can make the choice of Oak Sage or Heart of the Wolverine, whether you want a bit of extra life or a bit of extra damage. And everything else is completely optional. You could put enough points. You can see even at level 85, we have 14 spare points left. We could get Grizzly if we wanted to. We could go into some of our elemental skills. We could go into Rabies or Feral Rage if we wanted some life steal. Now, build is as simple as it gets. You have your CTA out. Normally you'd have your Spirit again. You get your Battle Command. You get your buff on that. You got your Battle Orders. You get your buff on that. And your Battle Cry if you really want it. But you gotta get close to use that outside of your shift. Pop your Werewolf, And even with the small amount of life that I had, I'm still hitting 4K. We W swap over to our Reapers, and we just hold our right click button. Now, a reason that I wouldn't run Drax with this build is because you're running the Reapers. You want that decrepify aura. It is going to make it so that you don't really have to deal or worry about any physical immunes. Now, if we were going to take this build over into a Bale run, it's very much the same thing. Go back to human mode, and this one wants to mess me up. So we're going to go like that. We're going to repop Oak Spirit, and voila, we're W swapped. So with Oak Sage, Oak Spirit, it's been a bit. Oak Sage, you can see we're hitting 5,500 with almost nothing extra. Like, very little into Vitality. You can easily hit 7,000 health if you ended up having an Enigma, but you would lose out on a decent amount of damage. So we are just going to go and clear the throne room without a care in the world. Now this is definitely a boss dropper build. It does do a good job at clearing ads with relative ease. Now, if we ended up going into Heart of the Wolverine and we had that up instead, we would probably be hitting about 12 to 15k. It's a pretty big damage bump. If you can afford the life loss, then the Heart of the Wolverine would be where those spare 14 points would be best fit. You would end up just going one into Oak Sage and then the rest into Heart of the Wolverine. In fact, not min-max because I didn't have Spirit and stuff out, but you can see it got insta-melted. Okay, guess it's only 9,900. Now, the damage numbers aren't huge on paper. You can see we only have about 10k. With that being said though, the extra damage from Decrepify, which is a 50% buff, more than makes up for it. So we're getting into Throne Room. We are going to quickly drop a rebuff. We are going to pop out Heart of the Wolverine. And pesky mana drain on Bale. Have no fear, mana leech is here. Now I am aware that there's a lot more damaging builds, like a lightning sword and other various ones, but none of them boast the tankiness of this build. Or the utility, because the decrepify slows everything down as well. Now if you guys enjoyed this build, please like and subscribe, and have yourself a wonderful day.